Hey guys, I'm Tyson with Adventuring, and as you can see, we are in the midst of a nice little storm cycle here in Colorado, which makes it all the more important to have a decent pair of goggles over your eyes on ski and snowboard days like this. So I want to talk to you today about the JK Motion ski goggles. Now, I actually found these on Amazon. I have the link in the description below, and these sell for $29.99 on Amazon Prime, which is 2-day free shipping. They also come with a nice little bag that you can keep the goggles in to help with scratching and just keep them protected when you're not wearing them. Couple notable features about these goggles. So obviously I said the price $29.99. These are definitely for the value-minded person compared to a lot of the other goggles that Callie and I have reviewed that are $150 to $250. Even though these are at a lot lower price point, they still pack a lot of really great features. To start with, they do have an anti-fog coating on the inside of the lenses like you find in the more expensive ski goggles. So again, it actually is a coating that's applied on the inside of the lens. With that said, you do want to be careful if you're wiping the inside of this lens because you can wear off the coating that they've already applied. Also, some other things that help with the anti-fog is on the bottom of the goggle as well as on the top of the goggle, there are air vents. So when you're wearing them, the air is gonna come up through the bottom of the goggle, transfer through the inside, and then come out these top vents. And that's gonna help to keep the inside of that lens from fogging up when your face is hot and you have moisture coming off. I did still notice with the anti-fog that sitting on the lift, if it was a warm day and my face was perspiring, I did get a little bit of fog on the very top portion of my goggles. By the time I'd get to the top of the lift and start going down, it would disappear pretty quick once I got the wind going through. And that is something that I've experienced even on a $150 pair of goggles. Just want to mention it. It's not a guarantee that it's gonna keep fog out, but it definitely does help. Also, these do a great job of keeping the wind out. These are great goggles because they're gonna stand up to a lot of abuse. You can actually take these and see that I'm twisting them. So if you're someone that maybe falls a lot, crashes, face plants on the ground, this frame is gonna twist with you and that lens isn't gonna pop out, break, and so on. You do get 3 layers of face foam, which keeps these nice and comfortable. The one thing that I did notice with this foam compared to some of the more expensive goggles that I have, this foam does seem to just be a little bit more dense, kind of a little bit harder. So when I put them on, it's just not quite as plush. I don't know if your average day-to-day skier is maybe gonna notice that unless you have 3 or 4 different pair of goggles to compare them to. If you get these and just throw them on, I think they're gonna be really comfortable for everyone. Just something that I personally noticed. On the strap, this is large enough to fit around a helmet, as well as it does have a nice grippy material on the strap so that it stays in place on your helmet no matter the conditions that you find yourself in. The lens does provide 100% ultraviolet protection, so when the sun is shining, your eyes are gonna stay protected. Another really great feature about these from Amazon is that they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you order these and you're not satisfied with them, maybe you do take them out skiing and you don't like them for whatever reason, you can always return them, which I think is a really great feature. I did mention that they're helmet compatible, which I'm gonna show you, as well as all 4 different lenses that they offer. I'm wearing a Smith helmet currently. You can see just how nicely these do fit with the contour of the helmet. I've tried them with a couple other helmets and all of them have really followed the contour of the helmet, which is nice. However, that's definitely going to be dependent on your personal helmet. You can see that I'm currently wearing the goggles with this black lens. This is going to be a lens that you're going to want more on a sunny day. I can definitely see today it's not too bad. However, when you start to get into that rolling terrain with this flat light, this dark lens doesn't differentiate between the rollers, bumps, that kind of stuff, making it a little bit hard to see. I would recommend this lens more for a sunny day. This is gonna be the mirrored lens, and the lens itself, when looking through it, is very similar to the dark lens that I just had on. The big difference here is that when people are looking at you, it obviously has a little bit more style compared to that dark lens. On a day like this, I'd want more of a lighter colored lens, such as this one here. When looking through this, everything is a lot brighter for me. So when you're approaching those bumps and rollers, you can really see them even when the conditions present themselves, such as this, when it's not sunny. With these, One thing I notice is around the very top edge of the goggles, while looking through them, I have a little bit of a darker stripe up there, almost like a windshield in a car. What I like about that is if I'm sitting on the lift and the sun is coming out, it tends to be right up here, and that little bit darker of a strip helps to shield that sun from my eyes. This is a great all-around goggle, but also the better goggle if you're going to be skiing in conditions like this. And then lastly are these blue mirrored lens. Now looking through these, there's actually a little bit of a gradient, meaning that when I look through the bottom of the lens, I get a little bit more of a darker bluish color. However, if I tilt my head down and I'm looking straight at the camera through more of the top of the goggle, I have more of a yellowish color, almost like the last pair of goggles that I had on. Now, these are a great all-around goggle, in my personal opinion. If I'm just gonna get one pair and I don't know what the conditions are gonna be like, I would choose these. I can still see when the conditions are a little bit crummy, the sun's not shining. However, when the sun does come out, these still provide a lot of protection and my eyes don't get fatigued. Another nice thing about these is they do provide an anti-scratch on the exterior. However, take that with a grain of salt. If you run into a tree, I have had numerous goggles with anti-scratch and they definitely scratch. It's not a miracle worker, but if you're throwing them in your ski bag, etc., it's gonna help to keep these scratch free. One thing they do say about these goggles is that they're marketed for men, women, and youth. Obviously, I'm a man. You can see how nicely they fit my face. They're 7 inches wide and 3.6 inches tall at their tallest part. I can see a little bit of the frame around the bottom, and then it pretty much disappears about right here if I'm looking straight ahead. I did mention that these are marketed for women as well. You can see on Callie, they also fit really well. The one thing that she did say is that right on top of her nose, she does have a little bit of gap. So she will have some air that flows in through that one spot. This is gonna be really dependent from one person to the next. She does have a small head, so if you have anywhere from a small to a large, that larger head, you're gonna get rid of that little bit smaller of a gap. Or maybe you have a really big nose, then you're definitely not gonna have that gap there. They also say these are marketed for youth. Obviously, you can see how big my head is, how big Callie's is. If you have a youth in your group, these will definitely work to a certain age. Obviously, if their head's too small, these are going to be too big. I would probably say 14, 15, that general age, these are going to probably work really well for. Again, these are made by JK Motion, offering 4 different lenses for all of the conditions that you may find yourself in. They retail for $29.99 on Amazon Prime. Again, if you just go into the description, we do have the link there. If you're a weekend warrior, I think these are going to be a great goggle for you. If you guys have any questions about these goggles or anything else that we have on our YouTube channel, please leave a comment below and we'll get back to you. Also, if you're wondering where we are or what we're doing, check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Adventure Rig. Thanks for watching. I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig.